today. I would have gone outside, but neighbor's dog was barking so terribly, like they're dying or something. I didn't want that in the background, but thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to make this a quick live, three-part live. Vice President Kamala Harris, Harvey Weinstein, and R. Kelly. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $McAngie129, Cash App, stickers, and chats are welcome during the live stream. Hope you all are well. Please check out my weekend movie, The Killing Hour. This movie was distributed in 1982. As most of you know, the Queen is a fan of many thrillers and horror movies. And this is a movie set in New York City. And there is a serial killer walking the streets, killing people in unsuspecting manners. And you have to figure out who the killer is and why they are killing these said people. Very good movie, The Killing Hour, 1982. It is now free on Tubi, and you may also be able to get it in the YouTube queue. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, everybody. Kamala Harris, thank you so much. Let's see what is going on with the vice president. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Lord have mercy. Beautiful day in East Tennessee. Very pretty day today. I really wanted to be outside, but as I said, the noise is just too distracting with their dogs. And I didn't want anyone complaining about the dogs barking in the background, which would not make for good content, of course. A member of Vice President Harris's security detail was removed over a behavioral issue, the Secret Service confirmed to The Hill. The Secret Service special agent who was working on the vice president's departure from Joint Base Andrews on Monday morning began displaying behavior their colleagues found distressing. Secret Service Chief of Communications Anthony Guglielmi said in a statement. The agent was removed from their assignment while medical personnel was summoned. The vice president was at the Naval Observatory when this incident occurred, and there was no impact on her departure from Joint Base in Andrews. Oh, Lordy. Joint Base Andrews. Very weird. Harris on Monday traveled to Wisconsin from Joint Base Andrews outside of Washington, D.C., but hadn't left her home, which is the Naval Observatory, at the time of the incident. Ooh, these words. The Washington Examiner first reported on the incident, calling it a fight with other agents before the vice president's flight on Monday. The outlet reported that the agent became aggressive, and when a supervisor attempted to calm the agent, a physical altercation started that led to the agent being handcuffed. Guglielmi added in his statement that Secret Service takes the safety and health of our employees very seriously and did not reveal any more information about the incident or the agent. So what happened? Because I see that they say the person was distributing, I don't know, behavior their colleagues found distressing. Agent removed from their assignment while medical personnel were summoned. So why did they call for medical? Ambulance, what? Private doctor? What are we saying here? So where is this person now? They handcuffed this person, this agent. What was the disagreement about? This is so bizarre to me. In your mind, you're saying to yourself, okay, the vice president, whoever, will have detail. So then you got to ask yourself how many people were on the detail. Assumingly all men, don't know. But I'm going to assume they're all men. What in the hell was going on? What happened with the detail agent? What was said? What was done? Did he want to be first in line? Closest to the vice president, the VP? I'm confused. What could you possibly be arguing about in detailing a vice president? Help me understand, because I'm utterly confused. Was this person under the influence of something, such as drugs, narcotics, having a bad reaction from medicine? What are we saying? I'm confused. They found the person's behavior distressing, the agent. The agent became aggressive, and when supervisor attempted to calm the agent, so interesting, supervisor was there. A physical altercation started that led to the agent being handcuffed. The Secret Service says they take the safety of their employees very seriously. Safety and health. So what the hell happened? And then we have this goofy ass lady here in Knoxville who loves to comment, or wherever she comments from. Laughing emojis. Then she's got a SHIT emoji and fingers up, middle fingers up. It's not that serious, honey. It's not that serious. Well, let's see. This agent came into a brawl with several other agents on Monday morning. Altercation took place around 9 a.m. near Joint Base Andrews on the outskirts of Washington, D.C., prior to Harris's arrival. So you all were battling before the woman even touched down. This is crazy to me. Identity has not been revealed, was immediately removed from their assignment. So where is the person now? Where's the agent's assignment now? This is crazy. U.S. Secret Service special agent supporting the vice president's departure from Joint Base Andrews began displaying behavior their colleagues found distressing. Well, you're going to keep repeating that. And naturally, the scuffle did not delay Vice President's departure. Guglielmi added that because it was a medical matter, the department would not disclose any further details. Harris traveled to New York City, where she was scheduled to tape an interview with the Drew Barrymore show. The agent who instigated the fight was armed and grew aggressive with others, the Washington Examiner reported. A detailed shift supervisor and special agent in charge pushed him to cool off, but then a fight broke out. The agent acted erratically when he arrived and eventually got on top of the special agent in charge of the vice president, then began punching him. See, there's more information. Real Clear Politics reported. Afterward, the unnamed agent was reportedly handcuffed and received medical attention. So it says the agent acted erratically when he arrived and eventually got on top of the special agent in charge of the vice president. So this is very weird. Is this something that we need to know about? This isn't some craziness like what Bill Clinton is. I'm just asking. Is somebody liking Kamala? Somebody's got a crush on her? Something going on? No disrespect to Kamala, but I'm just asking because I'm trying to figure out what could you be arguing about. So we have an agent who shows up acting erratic. It says that agent acted erratically when he arrived and eventually got on top of the special agent in charge of the vice president, then began punching him. So you have an agent who is fresh on the scene at 9 in the morning, going through something, and he gets on top of the agent. So I guess he charged the agent in charge of the the vice president, excuse me. Afterward, the unnamed agent was reportedly handcuffed and received medical attention. This is strange. So you go charging at somebody, you're acting erratic, you're upset at something going on with these other guys, ladies, whomever, hell, maybe the vice president, I don't know what's going on. And then you charge at the agent that's in charge of the vice president, and then you're handcuffed and receive medical attention. So you're doing the aggressing, but yet you're the one that's handcuffed naturally and receiving medical care. Please, somebody help me. Somebody jump in. I'm drowning up here. And once again, the agent was armed during the fight, and that gun was secured in the agent's holster until other agents physically restrained the agent and took the gun from the agent's possession. So were they fearing that perhaps he was going to pull out the gun? What's really going on? Following the blow-up, some questioned the hiring process behind that agent, including any assessment of that individual's background, according to Real Clear Politics. There had also apparently been long-standing concerns about the agent in question prior to Monday's incident, per the report. Harris was notified about the situation, according to Guglielmi. NewYorkPost.com is the source. Well, see, this is why we always have these type of situations going on. And it doesn't matter who it is. Civilian, CIA, FBI, police, state police, U.S. Marshals, politics, regular civilian life. People will see the signs that something is wrong with a person. They're acting erratic. They're talking erratic. They're talking crazy. They're ranting, chanting, mumbling, doing things, saying things out of turn. And then people are just whispering amongst themselves, talking about what that person is doing, which is stupid, because at some point, somebody needs to be going to somebody's supervisor or boss or family member, however the situation is, and say something to the person like, hey, we're noticing something going on with Johnny. He's not talking right. He's not acting right. So if it's a work situation, you need to go to a supervisor and say something. So now you got to ask yourself, if his behavior has been in question, what was he doing? Was he saying something out of the way? Was he saying something, doing something subversive? Is it subversive against the vice president? Is it something subversive about people in general? Is it subversive about the work ethic of the other guys and ladies working? Is he complaining about his own self? Don't want to be there? You know, bitching and moaning and complaining? What are we talking about? Because this doesn't make any sense to me. The person's behavior was at question before. So then you got to ask, okay, well, how long was their behavior in question before? This is stupid to me. People questioning the hiring process, including any assessment of the individual's background. Well, naturally, they wouldn't be doing Secret Service if they didn't have a clear background. We already know this. Now, the issue is, did they have problems wherever else they came from? How long have they been on the detail of vice president? Number one, did they just get there? Do they have some opposition against the presidency? The vice presidency, the presidency, these people being in office, being Democrats. See, you never know because you don't know people. So how long was the person on detail? Is the person under the influence of drugs, alcohol, mental disorder? Does this person have a mental disorder? How long was the person acting out for you all to make a comment to say you were questioning the person's behavior before? There had also apparently been long-standing concerns about the agent in question prior to Monday's incident. So see, that's ridiculous. You have somebody guarding a vice president, and you're going to use the terminology apparently been long-standing concerns. Well, that's not good when you're having somebody that's possibly not mentally stable, or they're having some type of malfunction, whatever that may be, and they're guarding the vice president or the president or any other government official. Because something like this is dangerous. Now, just imagine this person has some ill will towards the vice president, the presidency, race. She is a black woman. And then they're armed with a weapon. And just imagine this person pulling out a gun and unaliving the vice president and or the other agents for whatever personal reason or ideology. See, we take a lot for granted in life. And this situation is one of those situations that I call blind trust. You have to trust somebody. So you're sitting here walking around as a government official with a bunch of people following you around with guns. And in your mind, you don't think that somebody could easily just pull out a gun and start shooting you and shooting other people, shooting the room. Just think about that for a second. Crazy nutter on your detail, and they go ham one day. Maybe this person was under the influence of alcohol or drugs. They had been taking something. Maybe they have a mental problem. Maybe it's a combination of mental problem, alcohol, drugs, and warped ideologies, opinion. Maybe they didn't want to be on the detail. Maybe they were chosen, but they didn't want it. So let's ask that question. Someone comes to you and asks, hey, would you like to be on the detail for the vice president? Can you decline? No, I don't think I want to do it. Then somebody would probably ask, why not? Well, what are you going to say? Well, I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like that she's a woman. I don't like that she's black. I don't like that she's a Democrat. And I mean, think about that. Because naturally you have to use the deduction when it comes to picking people for CIA and FBI. They all have their own opinions. Just because the president is Republican or Democrat, that doesn't mean that the people on their detail are of the same political affiliation. And that's something I don't think a lot of us really think about. Imagine this is a Democratic vice president. And imagine if all of her detail or majority of her detail are Republican or non-affiliated with a political affiliation. But just imagine 6 or 7 guys and they all are Republicans. 2 or 3 are racists and they're following you around with weapons. I'm just saying. All right, everybody, that's my commentary. Well, hopefully the person will get whatever care they need. If it's mental, if it's drug, if it's alcohol, I don't know. But I find it interesting that they had the nerve to put in there long-standing. So you have to ask yourself how long that person has been on the detail. What is their problem malfunction? Where are they now? Are they back at headquarters working, doing a desk job? Or did they give them a leave? Did they give this agent a leave? 2-week, 3-week leave. Go get yourself together. Go seek you some help. Maybe they want this person also to go seek counseling. I'm sure that would be a part of their removal. You need to seek counseling. Now, if this person has been acting out for some time, maybe they got rid of them altogether. Now imagine that. A fired agent. And if they're not and they were coming unglued, this would be the exact thing that would tip them over, being fired. Even being removed and put on another detail, such as, a desk job. Oh, you putting me on a desk? Oh, you think there's something wrong with me? Next thing you know, there's a jump off, a casualty, possibly many. We will see if our great government will keep us in tune to what happened to this agent, because naturally they're never going to tell his name. Oh, Lordy. Ooh, Jesus of mercy. Once again, movie of this weekend, The Killing Hour, free on Tubi. I'm also going to talk to you all about the Dollar Tree. I've got to put that in this live because this is some crazy, crazy stuff. I'm also going to bring you this week some commentary pertaining to Jeezy and Jeannie Ma's divorce, and she's claiming domestic abuse. He's denying it. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. What a hot mess. All right, everybody. Next commentary. Harvey Weinstein. As most of you know, his rape convictions have been overturned by the Supreme Court. And shortly thereafter, he has been admitted to the hospital. Jesus wept. On Saturday, April 27th, the disgraced Hollywood producer, 72, was transported to the prison ward of Bellevue Hospital in New York City for a series of tests. His attorney, Arthur Aidala, and publicist Judah Engelmeyer confirmed to the Washington Post. He was brought there from Rikers Island Jail, where he'd been in custody. Weinstein's 2020 convictions in New York and rape and sexual assault were overturned April 25th. So very interesting. 2 days later, hospital after his convictions were overturned. So did he start getting ill right after He heard the news, or as they said, while being transported. Oh, Jesus. He was brought there, as I said, from Rikers Island to Bellevue Hospital in New York City. Weinstein was hospitalized after his health issues were triggered while being transferred, according to Engelmeyer. So what happened while he's being transferred? Heart palpitations, sweating, feeling sick, dizzy, lightheaded. What happened? The move triggered some of Weinstein's health issues that warranted closer monitoring, Engelmeyer told the Post, adding that Weinstein's hospital transfer is consistent with his prior custody. So what does that mean? When he first went into custody and got arrested, he took ill, became sick, because we learned that when he went to trial, he did not look very well. He had lost a lot of weight. So are they referring to when he first went into custody, when these allegations came out, and his health started to decline? Adela told ABC 7 Chicago, they examined him and sent him to Bellevue. It seems like he needs a lot of help physically. He's got a lot of problems. He's getting all kinds of tests. He's somewhat of a train wreck health-wise. As of April 27th, Weinstein was still at Bellevue when he had remained in custody. Frank Dyer, a spokesperson with the New York City Department of Correction, confirmed to the outlet. Weinstein will return to Rikers after he has completed his medical test, his lawyer said per ABC 7. His hospitalization comes as he is due to appear at Manhattan Supreme Court May 1st. And May 1st is when Weinstein's attorney and publicist did not respond to people's requests for comment on 28th. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, he doesn't look great. Earlier this week, a court decision was made to overturn Weinstein's 2020 convictions in New York State for rape and sexual assault. The move came after Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison in February 2020 after being found guilty of criminal sexual act in the first degree, rape in the third degree, after being accused of forcibly performing oral sex on a woman in 2006 and raping another woman in 2013 in New York City. Despite the overturning, Weinstein will remain in custody following his 2022 convictions for sex crimes charges in California. So see, this is where there's the debacle. Many of you will probably wonder, well, will he be able to get out on bail, bond, or they let him out? No, because even if he was able to afford a bond bail and he wanted to render one, he still has convictions, as I just read to you, in the state of California. He has charges in California, and that was from 2022. He was convicted on said charges. So even if he was released in New York right now, he still would be remanded by the state of California. So it wouldn't make a bit of difference. Very interesting. I did a short yesterday pertaining to Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and Harvey Weinstein. And I be darned, hours later, here comes this information about R. Kelly's convictions in Chicago will stand, no new appeal, and Harvey Weinstein having to go to the hospital. So what's wrong with Harvey Weinstein? What's the problem? Is his health failing him? Is he dying? What's wrong with him? Heart problems, diabetical, what? What is wrong with Harvey Weinstein? Did he have these problems before, but he was just living and or maintaining them until he had gotten arrested? Curious. Or his health declined from worrying, being upset, poor diet in the jail, and his health rapidly declined. What are his health issues? What will the tests reveal? Is this perfect timing for a man who's convicted in 2 states? Now he's being rushed to the hospital, not well. Could he be making this all up, making himself appear sickly, or sicker rather? So maybe a judge would say, hey, he's not well. He's not able to do anything. Let's go ahead and release him. But as I said, even if he was released, if a judge decided, hey, I'm going to overturn this, throw him out, whatever, throw these charges out, he still will be remanded by the state of California. So he wouldn't be vindicated if a New York judge says, let's throw the charges out. He still would have to go to California and be remanded there for charges from 2022 convictions. So he's still not out of the water. Robert Theodore Kelly. Lord have mercy me. What a hot mess there too. Well, as I said, I did a short yesterday. Please check out that short in the YouTube queue. And I was talking about Bill Cosby being his convictions overturned, Harvey Weinstein being able to possibly get a new trial. And then I said, well, I guess R. Kelly, maybe he'll be free. And I'll be darned, I got an update, as I said, about Harvey Weinstein going into the hospital and Robert Kelly being denied an appeal. So at the moment, convictions are standing against Robert Kelly in New York and also Chicago, Illinois. Wow, wow, wow. Very interesting. I'm going to bring you some information on Robert Kelly. And then I'm going to briefly talk about that Dollar Tree nonsense. Really got one crazy story I want to bring you about this Amazon driver being attacked in Nashville. This is horrible. Got 100 arrests and was walking free to attack an Amazon delivery driver, sexually assaulted the woman, kidnapped her. Just horrible. I'll try to bring you that story this week. I'm going to be busy the next couple of days, so I don't know how I'll be able to fit it in, but I'll try to bring you this content. The singer R. Kelly was correctly sentenced to 20 years in prison on child sex convictions in Chicago. A federal appeals court ruled Friday. Jurors in the 2022 convicted the Grammy Award-winning R&B singer, born Robert Sylvester Kelly, on 3 charges of producing child sexual abuse images and 3 charges of enticement of minors for sex. In his appeal, Kelly argued that Illinois' former and shorter statute of limitations on child sex crime prosecution should have applied to his Chicago case rather than current law permitting charges while an accuser is still alive. Interesting. He also argued that charges involving one accuser should have been tried separately from the charges tied to 3 other accusers due to the video evidence that became a focal point of the Chicago trial. Federal prosecutors have said the video showed Kelly abusing a girl. The accuser, identified only as Jane, testified for the first time that she was 14 when the video was taken. And as I told many of you, I've seen that content with the girl child in that video. And I think it's interesting that she testified against him as an adult, but not when she was a minor, when he went to court and the charges came about. And it was rumored that he paid off her family. So that's the reason why the child never testified in the original charge many years ago. And he was vindicated on those said charges many years ago. The 3-judge panel from the Chicago-based 7th U.S. Court of Appeals in Friday's ruling noted that jurors acquitted Kelly on 7 of the 13 counts against him, even after viewing those abhorrent tapes. Yes, exactly. The appeals court also rejected Kelly's argument that he should not have been prosecuted since the allegations occurred while Illinois law required prosecution of child sex charges within 10 years. The panel labeled it an attempt by Kelly to elude the charges entirely after employing a complex scheme to keep victims quiet. In a written statement, Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bongine, said they plan to seek U.S. Supreme Court review the decision and pursue all of its appellate remedies until we free R. Kelly. We are disappointed in the ruling, but our fight is far from over, she said. Prosecutors in Kelly's hometown of Chicago had sought an even tougher sentence, asking for 25 years. They also wanted the judge to not let that time begin until after Kelly completed a 30-year sentence imposed in 2022 in New York for federal racketeering and sex trafficking convictions. Wow, wow, wow. This is a hot butter mess. Judge Harry Leinenweber rejected that ask, ordering that Kelly serve the 20 years from the Chicago case simultaneously with the New York sentence. Kelly has separately appealed the New York sentence. In arguments last month before the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, Attorney Jennifer Bongine asked the panel to find that prosecutors improperly used a racketeering statute written to shut down organized crime to go after the singer. Well, Bongine, racketeering can be used for all types of crimes. It doesn't necessarily have to be drugs or gang affiliation or the mob. This is when the RICO Act came about. It was pertaining to the mob in New York. But racketeering is just what it is. It's just a group of people doing things they don't have no business, and they're in collusion with one another. So they use racketeering for all types of crimes, such as sex trafficking, prostitution, solicitation, drugs, weapons, coercion. And as you hear in this commentary, that's the very reason why this charge came about again with the 14-year-old who's now an adult. Yes, we know that 12 members of a jury found him not guilty, but as the judge said, they saw the tapes and still voted not guilty. And on the tapes, I can honestly tell you, you can tell that's a child that he is assaulting. You can look at the girl's body and see that was not a fully developed woman having sexual relations with a grown-ass man. And I stand on that because I've seen the tape. As I told you all before in a previous live stream, there was a guy that I knew of, and he was like, have you seen the R. Kelly tape? And I was like, no, I have not. And he showed it to me, and I was stunned because it was different women on the tapes. It wasn't just a one-time filming of one person, having a relationship with R. Kelly. There were different women, different races on the tape. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there was an Asian woman in one of the clips. And it was just disturbing because it was like, you're sitting here having sex with these women and you're filming them and you're not even telling them that you're filming them. And in the one tape, you could see this young girl straddling a grown man, and you could see her body looks like a child. She didn't have fully developed breasts, and the private part looked like a child. I'm just going to say it. That's why I found it interesting. Like, oh my gosh, look at what she's doing with this man. You would think she's done this before, but you can still see her body from top to bottom. It didn't look like a grown woman, not to be, disrespectful during this live stream, but it appeared to be a child having sex with a grown man. And the sick part is you knew that was a child because, as I said, if you're looking at her body part and you can see both parts look like a child, because many of you have children, you know what a boy looks like, what a girl looks like downtown. Okay, it's not the same look of a grown woman's vajayjay who's possibly had sexual relations for some years, if you get my drift. So you saw her with that, with clothes on, you had to have known, okay, this is a 13, 14-year-old. This is not a grown woman. This is not a grown woman. She didn't look grown in the video naked. So common sense will tell me she didn't look grown in clothes. And he preferred children, in my opinion. As he told the one young lady who was rallying for him outside the courtroom that he ended up getting tangled up with, and she was skipping school to go out there and rally for him when he was going to trial for this case of the 14-year-old that he was acquitted on. That one, once he realized her age, he just told her, well, we'll just pretend you're young. That's what he told her. And I believe what she said. We'll just pretend you're younger. We're not going to let anybody know you're older. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to discuss it. Wanted her to dress up with pigtails. See, that's all sick behavior. Why would you want someone to pretend they're under the age of 18? Number one. Why would you continue seeing someone and you found out they were underage when you've been messing around with them? The little girl may have lied about her age. One of the young girls who got tangled up with R. Kelly, the one that was skipping school, and she was in the docuseries on A&E, Surviving R. Kelly. Once you found out she was underage, R. Kelly, you still continued to mess with her and wanted her to play like a young person, which shouldn't have been hard because she was young. Whether she was 19, 18, whatever, she was legally in high school, skipping school to go stand outside the courthouse when you were going to trial for this case against the 14-year-old that you were acquitted of. And now it came back to fruition. And as this judge is saying, you all know that he's guilty because you're not even addressing that he actually committed the crime. You're just saying, oh, it's out of the statute of limitations, so it needs to be, eradicated. But as you see, that's the sign of a person that's guilty. You're not even saying, oh yeah, I didn't do this, plus statute of limitations is null and void. You're just saying, oh, you don't need to be bringing this case out because the timeline has elapsed. But there's no denying the allegation. That's what is and a sadist. And the lawyer, Ms. Bonjean, you're crazy to keep spinning this web about R. Kelly and trying to act like he's not a pedophile, he's not an abuser. He likes kids, he likes boys and girls, he likes women and men. So one thing to like women and men, you're bisexual, whatever, you're hiding in the closet. But to prefer children, that's a whole different ballgame. Because there's no reason for a grown-ass man to be attracted to boys and girls. We also know that he was soliciting young boys. It worked at McDonald's because R. Kelly's MO, he likes to use people to give his telephone number out to. So allegedly, he gave his number to one of his entourage and they gave his phone number to a boy. Why would you be giving your phone number to a boy? A young boy working at McDonald's. I believe it. People in Chicago said he would hang outside the high school in Hyde Park. Grown-ass man. Although he was younger at the time, but he was missing his life because he dropped out of school. Now you got to ask that, why did he drop out of school? He dropped out of school because he couldn't learn. We realized during R. Kelly's time as a musician, producer, he could not read or write. He told Gayle King that during that interview, that infamous interview where he's jumping up, screaming and crying. Oh, for the first time I went to the bank the other day. I never even went to the bank. So this is the reason why he lost a lot of money, because he couldn't read and write. So if you got people doing things for you, signing checks and depositing money, how do you know what your worth is? How do you know how much money you actually have if you don't even know how to read, write, and count? So here you have a man who's talented, can play music by ear, produce, write his own music, yet he couldn't read and write. Make it make sense. So you have to question that. How are you writing, but you can't read and write? Because that doesn't make any sense. How can I write music, but I can't read and I can't write? So I can't read the alphabet. I can't read the alphabet. I can't write it, can't read it, but I'm writing my own lyrics to the songs. So he only knows words from learning how to talk. Isn't that interesting? But he also knew how to be a sexual assaulter, coercion, manipulate people, pay people off, use people to bribe people, threaten people. Don't tell, don't say anything. If not, I'll blow your house up, blow your car up. That was one of the allegations from the young lady who he gave herpes to, using men to drive by her family's house and threaten them. Allegation of something about setting a car on fire, that young lady's family. Now, who does all that to a woman and her family and they've had no sexual relations with them? You just think about that for just a second. You haven't done anything to that person. Robbed, stolen, sexual assault, nothing. Lied on them, nothing. But you would threaten them, threaten their family, have people riding by their house, same car, and then attempt to set the car on fire or set the car on fire. So you tell me what decent human being would go to these lengths to hurt another person or their family, but they've had no dealings with them. They haven't done anything with them. That makes no damn sense. Once again, Bonjean, the attorney for R. Kelly, said she's going to fight this, the New York conviction, and also, I guess, this conviction here in Chicago, Illinois. To make sure I repeat that correctly. This is a crazy lady. She's just as crazy as he is. This is the very reason why people like him, Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Epstein, were able to exact these crimes, because there's people who want to ride on their coattail for the money and be seen with them in public. And obviously they have the same mindset, because there comes a point when you know that what you're doing is wrong and what the person is doing is wrong. And the fact that you would aid them for the almighty dollar and to be in their company, that means you're just as sick as they are. You're a sadist as well. Once again, arguments last month before the Second U.S. Court of Appeals. Attorney Jennifer Bonjean asked the panel to find that prosecutors improperly used a racketeering statute written to shut down organized crime to go after the singer. So she has separately appealed the New York sentence. New York and Chicago. Chicago prosecutors wanted him to do 25 years. They also wanted a judge to not let that time begin until after killing completed. 30-year sentence imposed in 2022 in New York for federal racketeering and sex trafficking convictions. But as his attorney said, Ms. Bonjean, we are disappointed in the ruling, but our fight is far from over. So she is seeking the U.S. Supreme Court to review the decision and pursue all of his appellate remedies until we free R. Kelly. Well, you knock yourself out. Good luck with that, sweetheart. Wasting paperwork and money and going through documents for a man who is obviously guilty of sexual crimes, and it's just ridiculous that you would even want to continue this. Just sad. So today we've talked about Kamala Harris's disorderly detail. He's been removed from that detail. Some type of ruckus ensued last week, and he was erratic in his behavior. He obviously has had issues. Don't know how long. I think somebody needs to reprimand him, and I think whoever's in charge of him that got any complaints about his behavior, they need to be reprimanded as well, the supervisor. And I don't know what his problem is. I don't know if this is mental, drug, alcohol, racial, political, or he has some mental disorder, or all of the above. But the point is, he shouldn't have been on the detail. He shouldn't be even working, because if a person has mental problems, jacked up ideologies, they're on drugs, alcohol, you need to tell them to go get some damn help. Once we see that you have gotten some help, mental therapy or whatever you got going on, rehab, whatever, we'll decide if we want to let you come back. Frankly, once I find out that you are using drugs, alcohol, and you're on this type of detail, this type of work, working for the government, I don't think I would want you to come back, because you can't afford for the person to relapse. Should people get second chances? Yes. Can people change? Yes. But when you're dealing with firearms and a secret detail such as working for the government, you can't take any chances with a person that is using drugs or alcohol. And God forbid, the mind is warped. Got a mental disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, whatever they got. Dissociative personality, this person needs to be reassessed mentally, thoroughly. Because like I said, anybody can take these tests and lie. Hey, is it okay to steal from your job? You know to check the answer no. You know not to answer yes. Hey, do you feel suicidal, homicidal sometimes? You know to say no, even though you do, but you're not going to say yes. As I said, many of us have taken those tests for jobs, and you know common sense. You're supposed to ride on the answer of not doing what is considered wrong or inappropriate. And this is why we have people in the military, police officers, government positions, and regular civilian jobs. It's because people took those surveys and those questionnaires and they answered them the way it is expected of us to answer. And I just talked about that yesterday or the day before in a live stream. You know not to take those tests and answer yes to anything nefarious, such as breaking the law, covering up somebody in a crime or lying. Oh, you see Johnny stealing out the drawer at work. Do you ABC? You know what I'm saying? To give you those options. Do you call? Do you cover it up? Do you say nothing? You know the answer you're supposed to choose, whether you believe it or not. or condone the negative behavior. You know you're supposed to answer, contact a supervisor. That's my commentary. There's some nonsense with this Dollar Tree business. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Sunday. Once again, The Killing Hour is my movie suggestion for this weekend. If you want to relax and watch you a nice little 80s thriller, it is free on Tubi, The Killing Hour. The Dollar Tree has decided to up its prices on some of their items, and some of you may not know that Dollar Tree also owns the Family Dollar, because I've seen a store last year when I was out doing one of my runs from work. It was out in the county, outside of Knox County, and it had Dollar Tree logo on one side and Family Dollar on the other. And I thought, this is crazy to me. You know, a lot of Family Dollar stores closed when they had that rat infestation at the plant down in Mississippi. So a lot of stores were closed temporarily because they had to take the stock off the shelves due to contamination. So that caused a lot of problems with the stores being open in surrounding states. And the next thing we know, they merged. Dollar Tree obviously bought out Family Dollar, or vice versa. How many of you shop at the Dollar Tree in the audience? Let's hear what they have to say. Then I'm going to check out of here. Please check out my posts, my shorts. You need 15 seconds of humor. I give you 15 seconds of humor, courtesy of YouTube, on my shorts. I had uploaded 10 shorts yesterday to keep up with the stories that I am currently bringing you on YouTube. Dollar Tree customers say they'll shop at Walmart and elsewhere as the store adds more expensive items. The retailer said in March that some items would cost up to $7. Despite some higher income shoppers, many dollar store customers are still on a tight budget. Now, I will admit, when I was living somewhere outside of Knox County a few years back, I remember going into the Dollar Tree and seeing the $1.25, and I thought maybe I was hallucinating. So I told the lady, I said, so you mean to tell me everything now is $1.25? Yes, except for the $5 item aisle, a $5 item aisle. So now let's go there. $1.25, $5 aisle, and now I'm assuming the $5 aisle is now going to be the $7 aisle, respectively. It does add up. Whether you have a higher income, mid-income, working class, poor, draw Social Security, SSI, doesn't matter. The items, number one, are cheap. The items, 9 times out of 10, or let's just say 10 out of 10, they come from China. So they don't have any value. Most of the things we buy here in the United States at Walmart, Macy's, Target, it is made in China. You could go in your kitchen right now, flip the back of the item, and you will see made in China. Go look at your coffee mug. What are you going to see? Made in China. Okay? Stay woke. Go look at the bottom of your shoes. Go look at the shirt in the closet. Made in China. So everything is mass produced, number one. Number two, it's made in China. Most items that you purchase out of the store today. I don't care if you go to Home Goods, Macy's, TJ Maxx, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Walmart. It doesn't matter. Earrings, a shoe, a cup, a plate, China, China, China. And as I told somebody, imagine going into Williams-Sonoma and you spend all this money on cutlery, pots, and pans, right? How do you know those pots and pans weren't made in the same manufacturer, company as the plates from the Dollar Tree? Did that ever occur to anybody in the audience? You spend all this money on a plate, a stinky plate just to eat on, ceramic plate. Plate might be $10 a plate, let's say, versus the $1.25 plate at the Dollar Tree. How do you know that those two plates weren't made in the same manufacturing company? Did they ever occur to anybody? See, I think about stuff like that. So that's why I have to always question myself in buying items. What's the difference between this pretty plate at Dollar Tree versus a Williams-Sonoma plate? That's the point. You don't know. Dollar Tree's adding items with prices as high as $7, causing customers to question whether shopping at the dollar store is even worth it anymore. Everything at Dollar Tree was a single price for years, $1, then $1.25. That helped it stand out from Dollar General, which has sold merchandise at various price points for years. And very true. You go to the Dollar General, they have things in there that go up in price. $25, $30, depending on if it's, a mechanical item like a fan or a radio or a boombox or a DVD player or something like that. But the joy of the Dollar General is that they have a dollar aisle. So guess what? You think Queen doesn't go in the dollar aisle to buy the dollar items such as baby wipes, cleaning products, air freshener? Hell yeah, I do. Because now Walmart, they don't even have the 98, 97 cents air fresheners. When I last looked in there about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I was like, well, what happened to the air fresheners in the aerosol cans? I didn't see one for 97 cents. So now you think about 97 cents going to Walmart, no more dollar air fresheners at Dollar Tree. You got to pay $1.25 versus I can get air freshener in the dollar aisle at the Dollar General. Just saying. Now, as Dollar Tree strays from its traditional price strategy, customers are considering shopping elsewhere. Scott Collett, a shopper at Dollar Tree store in West Palm Beach, Florida, told local TV station WPTV that if items were to go up to $7, that'd be too much, adding, I'd rather just get everything at Walmart. In the weeks since the $7 price announcement, some Dollar Tree customers have commented on the company's Instagram posts expressing their displeasure. $7 store, not shopping with y'all no more, one comment, March 25th post read. $1.25 was acceptable, but $7? Another commenter wrote a few days later, we might as well go to $5 below. Family Dollar, Dollar General, don't be surprised when business depreciates. That is so true. Dollar Tree didn't immediately respond to a request for comment from Business Insider. The higher prices aren't coming to all Dollar Tree stores right away. CEO Rick Dreeland said earlier this year that a selection of about 300 items, which are priced from $150 to $7, was being rolled out to 3,000 Dollar Tree locations. The company operates about 8,000 stores under Dollar Tree brand, as well as a similar number that uses the Family Dollar name. Last year, Dollar Tree started experimenting with prices as high as $5. The more expensive products include items that the retailer's executives say they hadn't previously been able to offer, such as frozen waffles, coffee creamer. Some shoppers have flocked to dollar stores to save money as inflation has pushed prices for many consumer goods higher. Dollar Tree has even said it noticed more customers who make six-figure incomes stopping by its stores. But one Dollar Tree store manager in Minnesota who worked for the company for a decade and a half before leaving in 2022 told BI that other less affluent Dollar Tree customers were likely to be turned off by the higher prices. The manager recalled that many customers bought fewer items after Dollar Tree's 2021 decision to increase prices to $1.25. Your average sale should actually go up a little bit if they're paying more, the manager said, adding that he instead noticed people counting at the registers and saying, oh, geez, I'm at $5 already. That's only 4 items. A quarter don't sound like much, but when that's the people you're catering to, it is a lot, he said. This is in a news break. Please download the app if you want to get breaking news in your local area and also around the United States and abroad. So 2021 is when items went up from $1 to $1.25 at the dollar store chain. And I find it interesting that now they want to hike it to $7. So I'm assuming these would be the $5 items, unless they're going to bring in some other type of items and market them at $7. I'm not really sure. I just assume the $5 items will be going to $7. It's probably a combination of both. But nonetheless, I can honestly say some of the things that I've seen in the $5 aisle at Dollar Tree, it ain't worth $5. $5 and below. They put that in a swanky area in Turkey Creek in West Knoxville. That's the more affluent side of town where people make a little bit more money, upper income brackets. And I still wouldn't buy half the shit in there for $5. Because I remember, I think it was 2 years or so ago, I went into the Five and Below to buy one of those little sticky things to hold your cell phone on your dash. So I made sure to take it out the package in the parking lot in case I had to take it back in, because I didn't want to drive a long way back to that store, you know, just for $5 and some change to exchange and get my money back. Well, naturally, open it up, stick it on the dash, it wouldn't even stick. And I think it may have cost more than $5. That little sticky thing that you put on your dash to hold your cell phone. So I've purchased one of those before. I got it, I think, from Ross, and it worked fine. So then fast forward years later, I'm gonna try to buy another one because it had a little bling bling on it, little rhinestones. Well, that's all you were really paying for, was the look of it, because it didn't work. Because if you're taking it fresh out the package and you're sticking it directly onto the dash, it should have stuck. And of course, cell phones weigh a little more now, especially when you have them in the little cases. But it didn't work. Now, I don't know, maybe I should have stuck it on there and let it stick there overnight. Maybe it would have stuck. I didn't feel like worrying about it. So I got rid of that. Took it right back in the store and got my money back. Dollar Tree selling $7 items now. Or they will be starting soon. Don't know the exact date or any locations. How do you all feel about items now being sold for $7 in the Dollar Tree? I'm assuming the regular items that we've been purchasing, if you do purchase things from the Dollar Tree, will remain at the $125. I did read somewhere in the caption, maybe going to $150. I would honestly say, I don't know if I'm going to spend $1.50 for certain items. Certain things I might want to buy, but then I have to ask myself, could I get it cheaper? Let's say Walmart, for instance, something small like nails, small nails, average size nails. Could I get those nails cheaper at Walmart versus me spending now, let's say they go to $1.50. So what you do is you price point. Google the items at Walmart. If you can get it cheaper at Walmart, then go to Walmart. If it's cheaper at Dollar Tree, then you go to Dollar Tree. And that's usually what I do, is I price point things. If I'm looking for something particular, a coffee maker or something different, I will Google coffee maker, whatever it is I'm looking for, pull up the different stores and see what they have for sale, if the item is available or not. And then you just do due diligence on the location, the availability, and naturally the price. But I will admit that a lot of things that are being sold, once again, in all of the stores, not just Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, but Walmart, Target, they're bullshit prices. For instance, I sold my Keurig a few months ago to a lady. She wanted to buy it for her father because I was changing the colors of my kitchen. So I was going to go to getting black instead of using that aqua color or mint green color for my kitchen. So I was in Kroger the other day, and I just happened to go through the aisle with the appliances. There was my Keurig sitting in a box at $99. Who the hell wants to pay $99 for some TikTok machine to make coffee? Because all you're doing is putting a pod in there and it's streaming water and the coffee out. $100 plus tax. Mind you, I live in a state that has high tax, 9.25. So imagine I give you $100 for this Keurig, and then I'm going to pay all this damn tax on $100 just for something to put a pod in. And that was what I thought months ago when I was trying to find me another coffee maker. I was looking at some on the marketplace, and I had said to myself, this is so crazy. I just marched right on up to Walmart and got me one of the little cheap black coffee makers, small, didn't take up a lot of space, smaller than the one that I sold, and it was $20 plus tax. Now, it wasn't fancy looking, it was plain, but I got it just because it would be quicker than me ordering it online and waiting for it to come in the mail. And then with the mail being running late and them not delivering things on time, I didn't want to wait for a coffee maker to come in the mail. But I may later order me a nice coffee maker, brand new in the box, online when I get to my next location. Everything's about your time, your money, and your patience. Since COVID, more companies sold things online because it was more convenient, because we weren't open. Stores weren't open. Businesses weren't open. Many people had to close their businesses because nobody could patronize, naturally, because we were shut down. And so businesses grew with people buying things online. So you have more people buying online now, even though we have businesses open. And that's caused a lot of problems for people who have actual stores, such as Walmart, Target, things like that, TJ Maxx, Ross. So people are ordering everything, clothes, shoes, this, that, online. Not even going to the stores, even trying anything on, look at nothing. Well, I go online, order. I don't have that kind of patience. I don't want to wait for anything to come in. I don't want my packages sitting outside in case I had to go somewhere, wasn't there to get it. Naturally, people work every day. You can't sit at home and wait for your package to show up. And, you do have people who steal. I just wouldn't want my packages sitting outside. I'm just not that type of person. I don't really care to order things online. But a lot of things are cheaper online. So that's another thing. More items sold, and the prices are cheaper. So that's possibly another reason why a lot of people order online. It's because the items are cheaper than you going in the store. And that's an interesting technique that these business owners have exacted. You wait longer than you just running to the store and looking at it, try it on, or put it on the counter and buy and walk out the door. So that's the swap with ordering online. You might have to wait 2 to 3 days to get the item, or maybe longer, depending on what you're ordering, where it's coming from, versus it's cheap. So I wait a couple days, but it's cheaper, versus run over to the store, look at it, decide if I want it, and I pay more money. That's your option. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I will put up a poll pertaining to this Dollar Tree nonsense and weigh in. Tell me how you feel. Should the prices go up on certain items? We will see what those items are. I'll be on the lookout. I may go into Google and see what Dollar Tree will be offering for $7. Maybe take a couple of pictures and post it to my community page so you can get an idea of what it is that they're going to be selling for $7. But I'm just going to be honest, what I've seen so far at the $5 range, I'm not impressed. Once again, it's cheapo looking shit, little small throw pillows that's big enough for your dog to play with, not really big enough for your bed. And it's just a bunch of junk. I said that about the stuff that I see in Home Goods and Ross, TJ Maxx, their little furniture, those chairs. Those to me are furniture items that I would put in a child's room. The chairs are too low. They're not going to be sturdy for people that's, really tall or have a little weight on them. And who wants to sit all the way to the floor in a chair and they're 6 feet tall or 6'6"? Nobody. Same thing with a sofa. No 6-foot woman or man wants to crawl down on the floor to sit on a sofa or sit on a chair. If that's the case, you might as well just sit on the floor. Lie on the floor. And that's something I've noticed here the past couple of years with these stores selling furniture. The chairs are very, very low. The dressers, the chests, they're low. And they want all this money for like a little night chest. Might be $159, something like that. Well, you still got to pay tax on it. And so then you have to ask yourself, do I really want to spend this much money for this TikTok furniture with a press board on the back? Hell no. Just like all that build up, what I call build a dresser, build a chest, build a shelf for Walmart, Target. You take it home, you got to put it together. I'm impatient. I don't have that kind of time, and I don't have that kind of patience. I don't want to put nothing together. I don't want to build nothing together. So I don't want to buy from Target, got to put it together, and I don't want to order it in the mail and have to put it together. I want to buy the furniture already made. We load it up in the SUV truck or delivery van, and they drop it at my door, bring it in. I don't want to put nothing together. I don't have that kind of patience. And when you get to my age, 53, you want everything as it is. You don't want to put a chair together, a dresser, a shelf. You don't want to put nothing. Some people are crafty. They have that kind of patience, or they got people who can help them out, a husband or son that don't mind, putting things together. I don't have anybody to put anything together. And frankly, I'm not getting ready to go buy nothing. I got to haul. Then I got to go find somebody to put it together because I don't have the patience to sit there and try to read the directions. Usually, I'm basically a visual person. I would try to put it together without reading the damn directions. That's Queen. I hate reading. This is why I said the things I've been talking about on my channel, the extra reading, it has become daunting in bringing the content to the network because I could easily just read the title of an article or skim through and bring you, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But there's always going to be somebody that's going to say, well, you left this part out and I heard this and they said this happened. So I have to read the entire article. And sometimes the articles are very long, especially when you're dealing with court type situations such as like Weinstein, R. Kelly. They've got all these different things that happened in the trial and what the people said and who did what and all the legal wranglings. And that article could run 13 minutes. And people don't really understand that's just a lot of work reading that stuff off. And I just like as I said, a mellow type stream where I bring you the information, get it out in a few minutes, and boom, I'm done. Give my commentary, read some of you all's commentary, and then I'm done and I get on to the next subject matter. As I said, as you get older, you just don't have the patience to wrangle a lot. Some may want to do it, some may not. Frankly, I don't want to wrangle a lot with a lot of reading and a lot of content because I do a lot of that, as I said, to bring you information pertaining to the cases. And I don't like to just leave things out that's pertinent to the storyline. But Lord knows it is daunting. You all have a wonderful week. God bless you. Please pray for the Queen. I'm going in a transitional period right now, trying to do some relocation to have a better livelihood and peace of mind. So this will be the last filming, possibly today, if I don't go live again. This will be the last live stream, possibly from this location where I am. But I want to thank you all for following this network once again, giving me your commentary. Please check my post out. I posted a video of a young lady who has a YouTube channel. She helps people declutter their homes. And I didn't want to comment under her video because, naturally she tells you she wants you to say something kind. And I really didn't have anything kind to say because I just don't understand anybody that had that much stuff in their house and building these closets when that room could have been used as a bedroom, a dining room, a sitting room. And right now, as high as rent's high in California, I just can't see somebody building makeshift closets to house a bunch of clothes. Now, you're well off, you got higher income, and you want a whole room designed for your clothes. I can see that. Somebody that's got, some decent money, and they can afford to have a spare room that's just for their clothes. But a regular person, because to me, she looks like a regular person. She doesn't look like she's famous for anything, that she's got a higher income. Went to IKEA or wherever to get all these closets built, and I'm thinking, just from me looking on the camera, I'm saying this could have been a room used for something else instead of just rows of closet doors. Check out that video on my post. I posted it today. You check out the video and you comment back and you tell me what you think underneath that video. Should that woman have spent that money to put all them damn closets up from one end of the wall to the other? Because I'm thinking if you have limited living space, would it have made sense to take that room, whatever it's supposed to be, and made it into like another living room, sitting room, or bedroom? and maybe you need to throw out some of your damn clothes or donate your clothes to somebody who needs some damn clothes, or throw them in the damn dumpster. Because I just can't see somebody buying all these closets from IKEA from one wall to the other. And then when you cross over to the other wall, those, I guess, were the original closets made. I'm not really sure. And then you have to ask yourself, you've got now 2 walls with older closets from one end to the other, and now a new set from IKEA. So what most people would be thinking logically, damn, do you need this much closet space? Because I get it, you do need closet space, you know, for winter wear, summer wear, spring wear, but it is 2 people too, because she has a boyfriend living with her. So that's her man, he needs a place for clothes. But a lot of guys don't collect a lot of clothes and shoes, you know, not a lot. So check out the video and tell me what you think about that space that's really designated just for closets. And then they're trying to decide what else they want to put in that space, such as a chair or a lamp. But you tell me what you think. Should she have bought all that put it together closet for that space, or made it into a living space? That's my commentary, everybody. Kamala Harris, Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly was the subject of this live stream, and I also threw in commentary about the Dollar Tree prices going up, some items to $7. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeAngie129, Cash App, stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. You all have a wonderful week. Please check out my movie suggestions. I have a really good suggestion for this weekend, The Killing Hour, now free on Tubi. Thank you so much. You all have been listening to The Vault. XL.